Hey, what is up, everybody? Happy Tuesday from my car. Happy Tuesday to you. It is Tuesday, October 29th. It's crazy, but it is October 29th. 2 days away from Halloween. So, in the fifth week of our Faith Factor devotionals, the fifth week, if I could talk, the fifth week of our Faith Factor devotion. And the last week, we talked about how Joshua and Rahab had faith in Jericho. How Joshua and Rahab had faith in Jericho, or in the Jericho situation that was going on in their life. And that's where Paul really leaves off. He says he doesn't have the time to talk about all the rest of the people that he mentions in the Hall of Faith. So those guys that we've spent the last couple weeks talking about, those are the main people in the Hall of Faith. But then he also gives away what I would think to be called honorable mentions. I'm going to talk about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, because he mentions them, and he talks about through faith they were able to stand the flames of a fire. And Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they did. I mean, we all know the story. King Nebuchadnezzar, he built a statue and told the people, bow down and worship me, because I am awesome, because I am all that and you're not. So bow down and worship me, people. But Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego said, absolutely not. We're not going to do that. And so when everybody else was bowing down, they stood up. They stood standing. They stood up for what they believed in. And that made King Nebuchadnezzar mad. He was pretty upset about that. So he said, all right, we'll try it again. Bow down. And they said, absolutely not. So what King Nebuchadnezzar said was, okay, well, if you don't bow down, you're going to be thrown into a fiery furnace. Okay? So you bow down. This is your last chance. Bow down. Had a little itch right here. This beard is itchy. Anyway, he said, bow down to my statue, otherwise you're going to be in furnace. And Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego says, King Nebuchadnezzar, we will not bow down. Even if you do, we have faith that our God will protect us from the fire. But even if he doesn't, we still will not bow down to your statue. Well, King Nebuchadnezzar, he didn't like that at all. So he threw them into the furnace, and we know the story. God saved them. You know, King Nebuchadnezzar's guys walked in and said, hey, King, how many guys we just throw in here, boss? Like, I don't know. I can't count that high in King Nebuchadnezzar 3. And the guys were like, well, there's 1, there's 2, there's 3. Hey, it looks like there's actually more than 3 in here. And 1 looks like he's the son of God. And King Nebuchadnezzar freaked out. He called Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego out and said, hey, come on out. And so they did. The Bible says that they didn't even smell like smoke. See, they weren't coughing like that. The Bible says they did not smell of smoke. And of course, King Nebuchadnezzar was amazed in how God had saved them, and it was their faith. And faith in God that he would save them no matter what. And so that's the kind of faith that we need to have as we talk about the faith factor. Having faith in God that he will back us up. Because society, boys and girls, the world, it's going to try to pressure you. It's going to try to pressure you into doing things the world's way and seeing things the world's way. And the world is a crazy place. And the world is doing a lot of things today, boys and girls, honestly, that doesn't make God happy. It's not the way that we should be living. It's actually sin. And in today's world, sin has become okay. The things that we shouldn't be doing are the things that people are doing. And they don't see a problem with that. But we know from the Bible and from coming to church and having a relationship with Jesus that it is wrong. And so that's what I want. And it can be scary to stand up. And even earlier in the book of Daniel, where you can read about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, even Daniel and Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they had the same thing. I mean, the king wanted them to eat some food that was of the land, and it wasn't the kind of food that honored God. Everybody else was eating it, but Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego, and Daniel chose to eat vegetables and fruits to honor God. I mean, they were pretty scared, but they had faith that God would honor that, and he did. Even in Daniel, in the lion's den, we know that story too. The guys tried to find a character flaw, something wrong with Daniel, but they couldn't. And so they tricked King Darius into making this law, saying that they could only pray to King Darius, and when Daniel had faith that God would protect him no matter what. He was faced with some very hungry lions, some very scary lions, because they were not from Detroit. So, because if anybody was in a pit with the Detroit Lions, I think you'd be okay. So, can't say that. Oh my goodness. I apologize for that. That's funny though. It's true. But see, Daniel stood up for what he believed, and he had faith that God would protect him even in the lion's den. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego had faith that God would save him from the furnace. So we can stand firm in what we believe in and what we know is right, and we can have faith that God has our backs even when the world does not, even when we may be picked on and the world may say, "You're crazy for not doing it." We can have faith that God has our backs, just like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego did, and Daniel did. So that's the Faith Factor devotion for today. We're going to continue it into November. Just a little reminder for tomorrow. Tomorrow is harvest party time. Woo, woo. So here's the deal. You need to be here at the church at, well, it starts at 6, but make sure you're here before. That way you know you can get in and get everything situated. Make sure your costumes are looking good. Make sure you got your candy bags. We start at 6. We have a skit. I have a lesson for you, short lesson, and then we're going to release you to go get the candy. So it's going to start at 6, going to go to 8. There is no adult Bible study. Moms and dads, grandma, grandpas, uncle, aunts. There is no adult Bible study. If you would like to help pass out the candy, please be at the church no later than 5:30. We're going to have some hot dogs for you. If you're helping, starting at probably about 4:40, so, you know, get it there about 4:30, somewhere around there. So make sure we are all ready to go. As of right now, the weather people are saying that it is going to be cold and rainy, but I am praying and believing that the weather people will be wrong, and it will be no rain, at least. Maybe a little chilly, but I'm at least praying for no rain and maybe raise the temperature up a little bit. So that's it. That's all I got for you. I got to get in there to work. Here's my work in the background. And I will see you guys tomorrow at 6 o'clock for the harvest party. It's going to be a lot of fun. And, of course, Thursday, you guys can go get more candy as you go out and do the Halloween thing and trick or treat. So I want to see you here for that tomorrow. If you go out Thursday, be safe. All right, guys, that's it from me from today. I will see you tomorrow. Peace out.